Good afternoon and thanks for joining me on Word at Noon. My name is Remy Arling. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa said his administration would continue to prioritize sports in the scheme of things and also pay attention to the welfare of athletes. He made the remarks on the occasion to commemorate the 2024 Olympic Day held at Ondo State Sports Complex, Akure. Government House correspondent Zimo Ebeme was there and his report is presented from our studio. Meanwhile, athletes have been advised to adhere to the core values of sports, including justice, training, fair play, consistency, among others, to boost their performance. This was the crux of discussion at a one-day sensitization program organized by Sports Writers Association of Nigeria's One Ondo State Chapter in collaboration with National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), Ondo State Command on ameliorating the negative impact of drug abuse among athletes. Abraham Isaac reports that while the sensitization premised on the theme, drug abuse, battling a menace in Nigerian sports, speakers harped on regular doping tests before and after competitions. The management of Ondo State Media Group Osrc TV, Orange FM, and Sunshine 96.5 FM Alalaye has called on media practitioners to ensure source information when discharging their duties. The chairman, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, was reacting to the dissemination of unconfirmed news report about the rumors that the veteran actor Olu Jacobs has passed away. Various organizations, including conventional, online, and social media, were awash on Sunday, reporting the unconfirmed news, which was later refuted by the wife, Joke Silva. Adebayo commended newsroom staff of the Osrc media stations for display of professionalism by applying the golden law of staying away from a story when in doubt or not confirmed. He therefore congratulated the staff of Orange FM, Alalaye, and Osrc TV for ensuring that they didn't join the bandwagon of fake news. The chairman charged the Osrc Media Group staff to continue to demonstrate highest level of professionalism, which he said will go a long way in reducing the trend of fake news and discourage rumor mongers in the society. In the meantime, veteran Nollywood actress Joke Silva has discredited rumors doing the round on social media that her husband, Olu Jacobs, is dead. Joke debunked the rumor, saying her husband is alive and doing just fine. This is the second time rumors about the death of the ace Nigerian actor and film executive, whose real name is Oludotun Beyiwu Jacobs, will be doing the rounds on social media. Jacobs, who starred in over 120 Nollywood films, is considered one of Nigeria's top film actors. Campaign for Democratic and Workers' Rights (CDWR) says organized labor could mobilize and declare a nationwide strike over the minimum wage and the recent hike in electricity tariff. According to CDWR, Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, as the next step in the minimum wage struggle, may declare and mobilize widely for a general strike and mass protest to demand a minimum wage not less than 200,000 naira and the reversal of all anti-poor policies. CDWR National Publicity Secretary Chinedu Bosa said government and private sector insistence on paying 60,000 naira provoked the declaration of an indefinite strike which started on June 3 but was suspended the following day. The group contended that the mass protests of mostly young people had just forced the Ruto-led government in Kenya to withdraw the IMF World Bank-inspired tax increment policy. Bose said the federal government should take a cue from that to do the needful. The federal government has commenced the construction of the south-south axis of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, just as it suspended new road projects. Minister of Works David Umahi declared that the federal government could not embark on any new road projects in 2025, citing paucity of funds. He said this during the stakeholders' engagement on the proposed alignment for Section 3A to 38 km of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway in Calabar. Umahi explained that the federal government would rather concentrate on inherited projects and the 3 legacy road projects of the renewed Hope agenda of the Bola Tinubu administration. He explained that construction works at the Calabar end of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway would commence in August. The Nigerian Air Force NAF has intercepted a group of terrorists in Niger State and freed some cattle earlier rustled by the criminals. NAF also destroyed several illegal oil refining sites in Rivers State and eliminated scores of terrorists in Niger State in recent coordinated airstrikes. Director, Public Relations and Information of Nigerian Air Force, Edward Gabwet, said NAF swooped on terrorists hibernating at Dandunu after rustling cattle from communities in Muya local government area of Niger State. Gabwet said the NAF intercepted the terrorists on 9 motorcycles leading the rustled cattle. I beg your pardon. He added that as the activities of oil thieves and economic saboteurs had become sophisticated, so had the NAF and other security agencies re-strategized to checkmate their activities and be ahead of their game. The federal government, through Nigeria Customs Service, has granted a jet belonging to a leading bank, signaling the commencement of government clamps down on private jet owners over unpaid import duties running into several billions of naira. The development came barely 2 weeks after the customs began a 1-month verification exercise for private jet owners in the country. In a public notice by the customs, the exercise aims to identify private jet operators that have illegally imported aircraft into the country without paying the necessary import duties. The customs had recovered about 2 billion naira into the government coffers when a similar exercise was carried out in 2019. At least 80 private jet owners are expected to present their import documents and aircraft certificate of registration to the customs in Abuja during the 1-month exercise. In a related development, an Air Force helicopter belonging to the Nigerian Air Force has crashed in Tami Village, Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. The incident caused significant alarm among residents of the area. The helicopter, which was reportedly said to be on a routine operational flight, experienced technical difficulties that led to the crash. However, the pilot managed to execute emergency protocols effectively, ensuring its survival. Residents of Tami Village quickly gathered at the crash site, offering assistance where possible and expressing relief that no lives were lost. The United Nations and the United States of America has condemned Saturday bomb attacks in Borno State, claiming the lives of at least 18 people. The United States mission in Nigeria condemned the suicide bomb attacks in a post on its official X account. According to the mission, the latest violence showed cruel disregard for human lives, noting it would be working with Nigeria to bring the perpetrators of the violence to justice. Also, the United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed Ford, expressed his abhorrent condemnation of the attacks in the strongest terms. Ford also reminded all parties involved in the conflict of their obligations under international humanitarian law to protect civilians from harm. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has unveiled a new coalition government after his ruling African National Congress ANC party lost its parliamentary majority in May's elections. He said the government of national unity is unprecedented in the history of the country's democracy. The ANC will have 20 out of 32 cabinet posts, while the pro-market Democratic Alliance, DA, until now, the main opposition party, will hold 6. Despite a coalition cabinet deal, stark political disagreements remain between the ANC and the DA. The shrinking of ANC support in the elections reflected public frustration over its poor record on delivering basic services and tackling unemployment, poverty, and corruption. A new poll has suggested that some United States Democratic voters are increasingly concerned about whether Joe Biden is mentally fit to serve as president after a shaky debate performance on Thursday. A CBS News YouGov poll release indicated that 72% of registered voters believe the president does not have the mental and cognitive health to serve as president, a sharp increase from the 65% who said the same in an earlier poll. 49% of voters said the same of former President Donald Trump. Particularly alarming for the Biden campaign, 45% of registered Democrats who responded to the poll said they believe the president should step aside for another candidate. However, the president's family encouraged him to stay in the race and keep fighting during a long-planned visit to Camp David. France's far right is in pole position after the first round of parliamentary elections that confirmed their dominance in French politics and brought them to the gates of power. Supporters of Marine Le Pen anti-immigration national rally cheered as she said the president bloc has been all but wiped out. Aderoke Kolawole has more.
Exit polls show that Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally Party won the first round of parliamentary elections in France, but the final result will depend on days of hard bargaining before the second round of voting next week. Sunday's outcome is a major blow to President Emmanuel Macron, who stunned the nation when he called for snap elections after his party was trounced by the National Rally Party in European Parliament elections earlier this month. In a speech to supporters Sunday night, Le Pen said her party's victory was decisive.
My dear compatriots, democracy has spoken, and the French people have placed the National Rally and its allies on top, and have practically wiped out President Macron's party.
The results were in line with opinion polls ahead of the election, but provided little clarity on whether Le Pen's anti-immigrant Eurosceptic party will be able to form a government and coexist with the pro-EU Macron after next Sunday's second round of voting is concluded. A week of tough political decisions now lies ahead. In the past, center-right and center-left parties have teamed up to keep the National Rally from power, but that dynamic is less certain than ever. A long-time outcast, the far-right National Rally is now closer to power than it has ever been. Le Pen has sought to clean up the image of a party known for racism and anti-Semitism. Her efforts appear to have worked amid voters' anger at Macron, the high cost of living and growing concerns over immigration. Aderonke Kolawole, Osrc News.
A space rocket owned by a private Chinese company has accidentally launched itself during a test before crash landing into a hillside. The rocket fell back to Earth, exploding on the hill in central China's Henan province. The company responsible for the rocket, Taiwan Technology, said there was a structural failure at the connection between the rocket body and the test bench. It added that there was no casualties from the incident as people in the area had been evacuated. Caribbean nations are warning residents to make emergency preparations for a powerful and potentially deadly hurricane further as it moves towards them. Really, the first named hurricane of the season is due to make landfall over a number of islands. Forecasters said the hurricane is dangerous and anticipate it developing into a Category 4 storm. The major storm is expected to strengthen further as it nears the Caribbean islands of Barbados, Dominican, Grenada, and Martinique, among others. People across the region are preparing by boarding up their homes, queuing for fuel at filling stations, and stockpiling supplies and water in preparation for this time. And on sports, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa said his administration would continue to prioritize sports in the scheme of things and also pay attention to the welfare of athletes. He made the remarks on the occasion to commemorate the 2024 Olympic Day held at Ondo State Sports Complex, Akure. Government House correspondent Zimo Ebeme was there, and his report is presented from our studio.
The Olympic Day run in Ondo State, led by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, Olympians, sportsmen and women started from the Government House ground to Ondo State Sports Complex in Akure. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who was represented by his deputy, Dr. Olaide Adelami, said his administration has always maintained that sport is a good avenue for social interaction and integration amongst youths in the state and the country at large.
It is important to inform you that most of the youth who are taking sports as career in the state are on the payroll of the state government, while more than 600 athletes are on monthly allowances. The contract for the upgrading rehabilitation of the Akure Township Stadium has been awarded by the state government to a reputable contractor to make the facilities meet international standard for the use of the sports-loving people of Ondo State.
They said the state would continue to embrace the objectives of the Olympic celebration, which among others was to promote national unity and grassroots sport development in the country.
I'd like to make it clear that our administration will continue to give necessary priority to sports in the scheme of things and improve on the welfare of our sportsmen and women. As we have repeatedly maintained, sport is a good means for social interaction and integration among the youth of this nation.
The Commissioner for Youth and Sport Development, Saka Yusuf Ogunleye, said the sustainability of the event was a clear indication that sport is a veritable instrument for the promotion of global peace.
Today, all the National Olympic Committee, LOC, and the 5 partners share the Olympic spirit with people of all ages and from all walks of life.
The representative of Nigeria Olympic Committee, Mr. Sylvester Ikojamoye, noted that sport keeps the mind and body strong as well as healthy.
The Olympic Games always give bridges, bring people together in peace and solidarity. This is the beauty of the sport. It inspires us to move, it brings out the best in us.
Highlights of the event were a short display by the 3 Guinness World Record holders in rope skipping and presentation of certificates to the governor, his deputy, and others.
Still on sports, England have escaped an embarrassing last 16 exit at Euro 2024 thanks to Jude Bellingham's overhead kick before Hurricanes struck in extra time for a 2-1 win. And with that sports story, we've come to the end of Word at Noon.